Greetings to all my tech heads out there in the KevTechify Nation. And if you're new here, welcome. In this episode, we're going to look at configuring privilege levels. We'll be discussing limiting command availability, configuring and assigning privileges and passwords, and finally, limitations of privilege levels. This is part of my series on network security. I'm Kevin here at KevTechify. Let's get this adventure started. The Cisco iOS software can provide infrastructure access using privilege level or role-based command line instructions, or CLI. Now, when we mean infrastructure access, we're talking about access to your infrastructure devices, routers, switches, and devices like that. The Cisco iOS by default, that software command line interface has two levels of access commands. The first level is user exec mode, and that's got a privilege level of 1. And then we have privilege exec mode. That has a privilege level of 15. Now, there's 16 levels total of privileged, or 16 privilege levels in total. Like I said, by default, it comes up with two privilege levels. User exec mode at 1, privilege exec mode at 15. You can go in and define the other levels. The syntax, now to assign commands to a custom privilege level, use the privilege mode command. So right here, you start off with the keyword of privilege, then you put the mode. Now the mode specifies the configuration mode. Use privilege question mark to see the complete list of router configuration modes that are available. So you put the mode in, then you either choose level and then say what level it is, or you reset it. Now, the level part here, the keyword for option here for level, what that does, it enables setting a privilege level with a specific command. The level here, the second level, the one you set up, now the privilege level that is associated with that command. You can specify up to 16 privilege levels using numbers 0 to 15. Or you can use reset. Reset's over here. It's behind me in the screen. But what the reset does is it resets the privilege level command. So it will reset those back. If you like this episode on configuring privilege levels and you get value out of it, and depending upon the platform you're using, please click that like button, give a 5-star rating, leave a comment. Doing this supports the channel, which in turn helps me bring you more great content. Click that notification bell to turn on notifications to be alerted every time I release a new episode. And there's a bunch more episodes headed your way. You can also visit my website at KevTechify.com for all my details and how to get these episodes in video and podcast form. To configure a privilege level with specific commands, use the privilege exec level command. Right here we have privilege, and then you would put exec for your mode. So exec right there, the keyword of level, and then whatever level you set, and then at the end you would put the command. There are two methods for assigning passwords to different privilege levels. First method here is to assign a privilege level to a specific user. Use the username command. So down here you say username, the name of that user. You specify the privilege, or this is the keyword privilege, and then you say what level is it, and that will give them their level. And then we say either secret or password. You want to probably use secret here, that encrypts your password, and then what the actual password is for that user. The second way here to assign a privilege level to a specific exec mode, use the enable secret here. So we have enable secret, we have enable secret level here. So that's the command you start with. Then you say what the level is, and then specify the password. Now these are both done in global configuration mode. The use of privilege levels has some limitations. First, there is no access control to specific interfaces, ports, logical interfaces, and slots on a router. Second, right here, The commands available at lower privilege levels are always executable at higher privilege levels. Third, we have commands specifically set at a higher privilege level are not available for lower privilege levels. So what these last two are, lower privilege levels are executable at higher levels. So if you set it at a low level, the high level will automatically get it. But if you set it at the high level, lower levels will not get it. So that's what those last two mean here. And then for our last limitation right there, assigning a command with multiple keywords allows access to all commands that use that keyword. Now, for example, if you're allowing access to, let's say, where can I write that? Show IP route. So you're going to allow access to that command. All users will get to access all of just the show commands. So right here, they'll be able to get all the show commands and all the show IP commands. So they get the show commands and they get the show IP commands if you allow them to have the show IP route. It was my pleasure to provide you with this wonderful episode on configuring privilege levels. If you like this episode and you got value out of it, and depending upon the platform you're using, please click the like button, give a 5-star rating, leave a comment. This all helps me bring you more great content. Please take a minute to subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell. All my socials and contact information are on my website, KevTechify.com. You can get all these episodes in video and podcast form. In the upper right is my playlist for my series on network security. In the bottom right is one of my favorite videos that I linked just for you. Thank you so much for watching this episode of my series on network security. Once again, I'm Kevin. This is KevTechify. I'll see you next time for another great adventure.